This statement is further validated in an interview given in June of 2013 by Colonel Abdel Basset al-Tawil, commander of the FSA's Northern Front. In this interview, he openly discusses his ties with al-Nusra and expresses his desire to see Syria ruled by Sharia law.
أما فيما يخص بعض الفصائل التي مثلا يطالب الغرب بتصنيفها كمنظمات إرهابية، جبهة النصرة. نعم، نحن نشعر أن هذه الجبهة بمكان ما هي يمكن الحوار معها
حول
نعم، حول طبيعة الدولة القادمة، حول شكل الدولة القادمة، حول إمكانية هذه البلد على إقامة دولة التي تناسب الجميع. نحن في مكان ما يجب أن نتعاون ويجب أن نتحاور، وأنا على صلة بالجميع، أنا على صلة بالجميع ولا أخفي سرا بذلك، حتى فيما يخص الأخوة في جبهة النصرة، ونتعاون في أمكنة كثيرة.
ماذا تؤيدون أنتم؟ ما هو شكل الدولة الذي تؤيدون؟
أنا بصراحة العبارة أنا أرغب في دولة يكون طابعها حضاري، لكن أن يكون شرعها إسلامي.
Moderate rebels? Well, it's complicated. Not that this should really come as any surprise. Reuters had reported in 2012 that the FSA's command was dominated by Islamic extremists. And the New York Times had reported that same year that the majority of the weapons that Washington was sending to Syria were ending up in the hands of jihadists. For 2 years, the US government knew that this was happening, but they kept doing it. And the FSA's ties to al-Nusra are just the beginning. In June of 2014, al-Nusra merged with ISIS at the border between Iraq and Syria. So, to review, the FSA is working with al-Nusra is working with ISIS, and the US has been sending money and weapons to the FSA, even though they've known since 2012 that most of these weapons are ending up in the hands of extremists. Do the math. In that context, the sarin gas attacks of 2013, which turned out to have been committed by the Syrian rebels, makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? If it wasn't enough that UN investigators, Russian investigators, and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Seymour Hersh all pinned that crime on Washington's proxies, the rebels themselves threatened the West that they would expose what really happened if they were not given more advanced weaponry within 1 month.
أعطي فرصة شهر واحد للمجتمع الدولي كي يتحرك ويعطي الذخيرة والسلاح للثوار والجيش الحر في الأرض كي نستطيع أن ندحر هذا النظام المجرم. شهر واحد. إذا وجدنا أن هذا المجتمع الدولي سيتابع في تخاذله تجاه ثورتنا، سنفصح عما لدينا من إثباتات، وأنا أقول ذلك وأعتقد أنك تعرف جيدا أننا صادقون فيما أقول.
This threat was made on June 10th, 2013. In what can only be described as an amazing coincidence, just 9 days later, the rebels received their first official shipment of heavy weapons in Aleppo. After the second sarin gas fiasco, which was also exposed and therefore failed to garner public support for airstrikes, the US continued to increase its training and support for the rebels. In February of 2014, Haaretz reported that the US and its allies in the region, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Israel, were in the process of helping the Syrian rebels plan and prepare for a massive attack in the south. According to Haaretz, Israel had also provided direct assistance in military operations against Assad 4 months prior. Then in May of 2014, PBS ran a report in which they interviewed rebels who were trained by the US in Qatar. According to those rebels, they were being trained to finish off soldiers who survived attacks. Quote, "They trained us to ambush regime or enemy vehicles and to cut off the road. They also trained us on how to attack a vehicle, raid it, retrieve information or weapons and munitions, and how to finish off soldiers still alive after an ambush." This is a blatant violation of the Geneva Conventions. It also runs contrary to conventional military strategy. In conventional military strategy, soldiers are better off left wounded, because this ends up costing the enemy more resources. Executing captured enemy soldiers is the kind of tactic you use when you want to strike terror in the hearts of the enemy. It also just happens to be standard operating procedure for ISIS. 1 month after this report, in June of 2014, ISIS made its dramatic entry, crossing over the Syrian border into Iraq, capturing Mosul, Baiji, and almost reaching Baghdad. The internet was suddenly flooded with footage of drive-by shootings, large-scale death marches, and mass graves. And of course, any Iraqi soldier that was captured was executed. Massive quantities of American military equipment was seized during that operation. ISIS took entire truckloads of Humvees. They took helicopters, tanks, and artillery. They photographed and videotaped themselves and advertised what they were doing on social media. And yet, for some reason, Washington didn't even try to stop them.